Last year, my bank account 100x'd. No, I didn't invest in penny stonks to the moon, and no, I didn't dropship toilet paper to desperate doomsday preppers. In fact, I won it on a TV show. You see, I compete on a TV show called Ninja Warrior, where athletes have to run, swing, and jump their way through a series of obstacles in order to reach the final stage, which consists of a 20-meter rope climb. Now, if you climb this rope in under 30 seconds, then you win the title of becoming a Ninja Warrior champion, as well as $400,000. So what did I spend the $400,000 on? And how did my perception of money change? Well, to give you some context, prior to winning the money, I've never actually had $10,000 in my bank account at one time. So instantly having access to $400,000, it kind of scared me. And what I'm about to tell you should not be taken as advice by any means. I'm just here to give you some perspective from my personal opinion into what it's like to win a huge sum of money. Now, I'll start by saying that the vast majority of this money has been handed over to a financial advisor, where it has been or will be invested into the stock market. And I'll talk about why I chose the stock market over real estate later on in this video. But for now, I'm gonna cover the 7 most expensive items which I've purchased, and to help you understand my mindset behind these purchases, I'm gonna split it down into 3 lists. So number 1, cost. How much money I spent on the item. Number 2, intrinsic value. So how much each item improves my life, which is subjective. And number 3, the quality. How much do I appreciate having a good quality version of each item? Now, starting off with cost, the cheapest item I purchased at $400 were the AirPods Pro. Let's face it, Apple's advertising is amazing, and these AirPods Pro have certainly lived up to their reputation. The next most expensive item comes in at $600, and it's the Theragun. I've been using massage tools for many years now, and it was time to upgrade from a $100 one to a $600 one. Was it worth it? I mean, we'll soon find out. The next most expensive after that comes in at $900, which is my workstation. It consists of a tabletop and some drawers from IKEA, a computer monitor, a mouse, and a keyboard, which was a big upgrade from just using my laptop on the kitchen counter. Next after that, coming in at $1,100, was my piano. I've been producing music for many years now, so to have an actual piano to play instead of just playing notes on my keyboard, it helps me out a lot. Coming in at 3rd place and spending $2,500 is my Sony camera. This is a Sony a7 III. It's one of Sony's best-selling full-frame cameras. It is the most expensive camera I've ever purchased, however, I currently don't have any regrets. Now, the second most expensive item that I purchased, coming in at $5,500, was my MacBook Pro. And boy, do I love it. This is no ordinary MacBook. It is the latest one. It is the greatest one. I absolutely spec'd this thing out, but was it worth the price tag? We'll soon find out. And coming in at 1st place with a whopping price tag of $20,000 was my Volkswagen Golf Gti. So there we've got 7 items ranging from $400 to $20,000. But let's see how this list changes when I rank it by intrinsic value. Now let's remember that this is just my personal opinion about how each item improves my quality of life. So starting from the top this time, the item which improves my life the most is my laptop. That's quickly followed up by my car. In 3rd place is my camera. In 4th is my piano. In 5th place is my workstation. 6th are my AirPods. And in last place is my massage gun. So notice how this second list has actually changed quite a lot from the first. And what I'm essentially stating is that I would prefer to have a laptop over a car. And the reason for this is that I can use my skills as a video editor and a music producer to make money using my laptop. However, just getting around in my car from A to B and to the gym and back isn't as valuable to me in my current situation. Now you may be thinking, Ben, it's not just a car, it's a $20,000 car. Surely it's more valuable than your laptop. And that leads me onto my 3rd list, which is quality. So how much do I appreciate not just having a car, but having a really good car? And how much does a higher quality item improve the quality of my life? Now, if you're thinking of getting into photography, the first question you would ask yourself is, do you commit to buying a camera or not? And if the answer is yes, then naturally the next question will be, how much do I spend? You see, this is where we get into something called diminishing returns. Now, for the sake of this explanation, let's just assume that the more money you spend will be equal to having a higher quality camera. However, it's not as simple as that, because realistically, as you increase your budget and decide to spend more on a camera, the jump in quality of the camera diminishes more and more. So with that in mind, what item did I care the most about when it came to quality? Well, top of the list once again was the MacBook Pro. This was soon followed by my Sony camera, essentially stating that I would rather have the best MacBook Pro than have the best camera. And I would rather have the best camera than the best car, because my Volkswagen Golf is in 3rd place. In 4th place is my workstation. In 5th place is my piano. In 6th were my AirPods, and in last place once again was my Theragun. So what does this all mean? So what this tells me is that I probably could have spent a little less money on some items and still received just as much value from them. And I'm sure I'm not the only person which has made those mistakes, because a lot of the time when we purchase something, our decision is based off emotions. And being aware of this fact has actually made me over analytical of my emotions whenever I decide to buy something substantial. Because I know that if I purchased a new camera lens today, then once the initial excitement wore off over the next few days, then the lens would just become another tool that I use. I've also found a lot of value within purchasing lower quality items first and then upgrading over time. If money was the equivalent of a cheat code on Nintendo 64, then sure, you could just unlock all the levels at once. But we all know that without the cheat code, we learn to appreciate each level in more depth and feel extra satisfied when we have worked hard to unlock the next one. Now, before I go into the largest chunk of money, I do want to say that a portion of it actually went to my partner Olivia, and I attempted to gift some of it to my parents, however, they will not accept it. And I also did purchase some sneaky Pokemon cards, which were more of a sentimental value / investment. And speaking of investments, why did I choose the stock market over real estate? Well, reason number one, the stock market excites me and I enjoy learning about it. And when I enjoy something, I care about it a lot more and I do a much better job at looking after it. But Ben, if real estate was the better option out of the two, then shouldn't you learn to care about it? You shouldn't let your lack of knowledge around real estate determine your financial decision. I mean, that's just plain ignorance. And look, I hear what you're saying, but that leads me on to reason number two. Liquidity. One thing I know about the stock market is that if at any point I change my mind and decide to buy or put a deposit down on a house, then I can have my money back in a bank account in a matter of days. However, from my understanding, if I decided to buy real estate straight away, well then, first and foremost, I'm just not educated enough to know if I'd be buying the right property in the first place. And of course I would get a professional opinion. However, I would rather educate myself first, so I'm not just putting 100% blind trust into someone when spending such a huge amount of money. And number two, if I decided to change my mind about buying a property, it's not as simple as just clicking sell and the money is back in my account in a matter of days. It is much harder to access, and until I'm more educated around real estate, then I'd prefer to have my money more readily available. And look, I'm sure all of you have 1,000,001 answers to everything that I've just said, but the catch-22 is, I don't have the answers that you guys have. And this is the reason that I'm making these decisions in the first place. So I hope I gave you guys some insight into what it's like to win a large sum of money. And I hope at no point during this video I came off as offensive or ignorant or unappreciative. I am truly grateful. And I do see this as a life-changing amount of money and an amazing opportunity, which I am certainly not going to waste. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.